Angela Hall. The unemployment rate has skyrocketed to 13.3%. 22 million Americans lost their jobs, and the bills are piling up. Something had to be done to help the people of America. There are many options on whether the government should be able to intervene within the economy and whether it's necessary or not, and if the raise in taxes is what citizens are willing to take. To the eyes of many American people and the president, something had to be done. The CARES Act was put into action and signed into law by the president in order to provide aid to the country's people. There are people and businesses that are unsatisfied and or unhappy with this bill, as well as people that believe it was very successful. I will cover three main points today, which are what the CARES Act is, who it helped, and how it was distributed to people, and the possible issues contained within it. First, it is important to understand what the specific act contains and stated so we can better understand why some are unsatisfied with it. The Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economy Security Act provided $150 billion for assisting the Pay Protection Program to assist small businesses and provide stimulus checks to families among the United States. According to Urban Institute, the CARES Act expanded eligibility and benefits for unemployment insurance and authorized one-time direct cash payments to most U.S. households, and it was designed to mitigate the impact of job and income losses on people's ability to pay for basic needs as the nation adapted social distancing practices to slow the transmission of the novel coronavirus. This act was signed in March of 2020 and was most effective immediately after being signed. Pertaining to families, this act states that in the case of a taxpayer, the amount determined shall not be less than $600, $1,200 in the case of a joint return, and the amount determined after the application of a subparagraph shall be increased by the product of 500 multiplied by the number of qualifying children of the taxpayer. Pertaining to the businesses, the Act states the amount of loan forgiveness under this section for an eligible recipient shall not exceed the sum of total payroll costs incurred by the eligible recipient during the covered period, and the amount of payments made during the covered period on debt obligations that were incurred before the covered period. Those not included in receiving the funding through this act include children over the age of 18 who were claimed as dependents within a household, and the children that were within the mother's womb within the duration of the time period that the stimulus checks are being distributed. Although the act said there would be able for any person in the U.S., there have been some speculations on where the money actually went. There are millions of people who need financial assistance and thousands of businesses that need aid as well as before the CARES Act was even created. According to the Qualls Foundation, on March 28th, 30% of respondents believe that their businesses would not recover within 2 years, but this number steadily increased with almost 50% of firms reporting that their business would not recover within 2 years of April 20th. Applications for stimulus checks began rolling in with 150 million Americans received a $12,000 stimulus check after it was put into place, as the unemployment claims of people climbed roughly to 200,000 to 3.3 million people. The implementation allows companies and people to hold off loan payment and focus on being able to afford the basic necessities as the country was put into lockdown. Was the way that the country was put into lockdown, it was the idea that they put people over profit. Roughly 5% of the PPP loans that were included within this act were actually given to smaller businesses. Larger corporations received $1 billion of stimulus money in accordance with first come first served rule. There are many other businesses and people who received much of the aid through the CARES Act, but there are many who are still in need of financial aid from the government and might not ever receive any. The reason this act passed and is being distributed is because many people and businesses were not receiving enough money or income to pay off loans, pay bills, or even support themselves entirely. According to the Heritage Foundation, the greatest failing of the CARES Act is the additional $600 per week federal unemployment insurance benefit, which makes it possible for someone who is unemployed to make more money than being employed. Given that the first come, first served basis nature of the Paycheck Protection Program, these findings support the idea that larger firms were informed first and it may have played an important role in the equal access to the relief aid compared to smaller businesses. When looking into how many people received their stimulus checks throughout this act, well over 35 million stimulus checks have not been sent out, and many people will not receive theirs until 2021, let alone at all. In conclusion, as a country of the United States needed some kind of assistance, it is important to realize not everyone in the United States can be helped immediately. The CARES Act was put into place to keep workers paid and employed, enhancing the healthcare system, and help stabilize the nation. I don't know. They're really messy, and they're all backwards. But